Look, I know we're all stuck at home watching movies right now, but if you're like me, you probably burned through all your favorite car movies in like the first week. Luckily, some of the coolest cars are in movies that you would never consider to be car movies at all. The Cadillac Eldorado from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the Orange GTO from Dazed and Confused, Blade's Charger, every Evo that Jackie Chan ever drove. Did you know they made Jackie Chan an honorary director of a rally team? Did you know there's a Jackie Chan edition Evo 9? I bet you didn't. I did a bunch of research and polled the Donut office to compile the best cars from non-car movies so you don't have to. And in today's video, we're gonna go through some of our favorites. We're also gonna figure out what is and what isn't a car movie, okay? I think the Jason Bourne movies should be considered car movies, but Back to the Future, I'm not so sure.
Oh, well, it's a DeLorean, right?
Bear with me, Marty. All your questions will be answered. Roll tape.
As always, let me know if I missed some cars on this list. Please leave a comment, because for the first hour that this video is out, I will be in the comments responding to you. I want to converse with you. So leave a comment and I will maybe respond to it. Big thanks to our main source for this video, the Internet Movie Card Database. They did not sponsor this video. I don't think they have a budget to. Let's start with number 25. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, is widely known for a certain scene with a fake rhino, one of the funniest scenes ever. One scene that often gets overshadowed, though, is one of the most unique car chases in movie history. In it, the villain, Vincent Cadby, is running away from Ace and he drives off in a Land Rover 88 Series 2A, which in its own right is a pretty sick car. But it's not the car I'm talking about. Ace runs out after Cadby and passes a few more Land Rovers before jumping into a safari camo monster truck. This 86 Chevy S10 was actually a legit monster truck called Push and Stomp, owned and built by Greg Schmidt. This truck did a few shows before being repainted in camo to appear in the movie. I would still like to drive a monster truck because of this movie, and it's just hilarious that it's an Ace Ventura movie that makes me want to drive a monster truck.
Ah, he wants to go off-road!
2006's Children of Men starred Clive Owen as an unlikely shepherd for the last surviving baby in the world. Definitely not a car movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it has some really cool cars in it. They have some amazing chase sequences using some amazing camera car rigs in this movie. Check out the behind the scenes of this film if you haven't, if you like that kind of stuff. Most of the cars could be considered boring, realistic cars. You might remember the Fiat Multipla or the Citroen CX Estate from this movie, but neither of those cars is my pick. That goes to the 2000 Bentley Arnage Red Label that Clive Owen is driven around in. I know I'm kind of missing the point of this movie by picking this car for this list, but the Bentley Arnage is way too cool to pass up, okay? This thing is like the Johnny Walker of cars. Produced from 1998 to 2009, it debuted soon after Volkswagen acquired Bentley, and they made two different versions, okay? The Red Label and the Green Label. The Green Label had a 6.7 liter 16 valve pushrod V8 engineered by Cosworth, which was previously used in the Turbo R, and the Red Label had a twin turbocharged 32 valve BMW M62 engine, which was also re-engineered by Cosworth and put out 349 horsepower and 420 foot-pounds of torque. Oh yeah, baby. I'll be straight up, this is probably not the car I would most like to drive on this list, but it would be sick to ride around in the back with old Clive sipping cognac and smoking a cigar. Definitely check out Children of Men. It's just so good, man. Freaking Michael Caine is in there, gives a great performance. Just check it out, man. Children of Men.
Ah, well, a little Zen music won't bother you then, will it?
Pop, 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 up and down headlights! Pop up and down headlights! Pop up and down headlights!
Next on the list is the Mustang convertible from Menace to Society. I love the Fox body, and the 5.0 badge is just so iconic. The best scene is the one where O-Dog jacks the dude's Dayton's in the drive-thru. Such a good scene.
What the you want from me?
You know what the I want? I want your motherfucking Dayton's and your motherfucking stereo. And I'll take a double burger with cheese.
It almost makes more sense just to trade the car, really. Like, you're gonna, the whole time you're gonna hold your gun at someone, follow them home, they're gonna jack up their car while you're just still holding the gun. It seems like a lot of effort. Also, getting switching a stereo out. Have you ever tried to take a stereo out of a car? If you don't have the right tools, it is a huge pain in the ass. Not a really well thought through plan on O-Dog's part, if you ask me.
Double burger, some fries. I said with cheese.
There's one thing I like almost as much as car movies, and that's a good road trip movie, okay? Although they usually center around a car, I wouldn't necessarily call road trip movies car movies. I think the car is more of a plot device or a character rather than the subject. One of the best road trip movies ever is Tommy Boy, starring Chris Farley and my man David Spade. In it, they drive a teal 1967 Plymouth Belvedere GTX, which is a ride. Marketed as the gentleman's muscle car, the GTX usually isn't even mentioned in the same sentence as other muscle cars like the Challenger or Barracuda, but trust me, it is amazing. It is a brute. It is really sad seeing this one get destroyed in the film. Sorry, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But also I get a little excited when I see cars get destroyed in movies.
What'd you do?
But also a part of me does die. It's a very complicated set of feelings. I should probably talk to someone about it. I just don't like seeing cars get hurt. Speaking of getting hurt, action star Jackie Chan drives the most amazing cars in his movies. Frankly, we could do a whole video on just the cars that Jackie Chan drives, and it would be like an hour long, so I'm just gonna pick some of the best ones, okay? In Armor of God, Jackie drives a Mitsubishi Colt Mirage Spider down the streets of Croatia while being pursued by a fleet of Pajeros, which are also, in their own right, very sick. There's not a lot of information on this little Spider that looks like it could be a very weird cousin of the Toyota MR2. It might have been a concept just made for the movie, but it also looks like a ton of fun to drive. In Armor of God 2, yes, they made a sequel, Operation Condor, Jackie gets his own Pajero Turbo, complete with a light bar and a freaking sick dirt bike strapped to the back. And then in Who Am I, he also drives a sick-ass Evo. Starion, Evo 3, FTO, Cannonball Run 2, and even though these are without a doubt car movies, I feel the need to bring up Cannonball Run 2 and Thunderbolt because Jackie drives a Mitsubishi Starion in Cannonball and a nacho cheese colored Evo 3 in Thunderbolt. There's also a sick Mitsubishi FTO in that movie, plus a million other cool cars. If you're noticing a pattern, good job, okay? Jackie Chan loves using Mitsubishis in his films. He actually played a Mitsubishi factory worker in a few different movies. Apparently, he loves Mitsubishi so much that he was made an honorary director of rally art at one point, and they even made a limited run of 50 special edition Jackie Chan Evo 9s, complete with numbered plaques. That's pretty cool. Once in a while, a movie comes along that breaks down barriers, brings you to tears, and makes you question your own existence. Ali G and the House is not one of those movies, but it does have a really cool car in it. Ali G drives a bright yellow 1987 Renault 5 GT Turbo. In the context of the movie, it's supposed to be a dumb car driven by an even dumber character, but honestly, I love this car, which I guess makes me a dumb person, which I won't deny. This car is especially cool with its Dimma body kit and those amazing box flares. Mwah!
A to the L to the I to the G. Ali G, that's me, that's me.
This next movie answers the question, if you were God, would you even need to drive a car? And the answer is, hell yeah, because you could make your car a freaking Celine S7, which is what happens in Bruce Almighty. When I was a kid, the S7 was probably one of the sickest supercars in the world, and how could it not be? The S7 has butterfly doors and a twin-turbo V8 making 550 horsepower. I will admit, when I was a kid, I didn't really know what those numbers meant. I just thought the amount of vents and there's just a lot of vents on this car. It looks like a cheese grater mixed with a shark, which now that I think about it, is a terrifying animal. Anyway, the S7 was also one of the lowest supercars in the world at just 41 inches tall. That's only an inch taller than the GT40. 41 do be bigger than 40. Math boy. An honorable mention goes out to Bruce's 280Z before he turned it into a Celine. Y'all know I'm a Z boy, right? Check out our high-low series if you haven't already. Side note, we have shows every day of the week now. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss one. In MacGruber, Will Forte's titular character drives a car that I think we can all agree is the perfect car, a 1996 Miata. MacGruber's Miata has a perfect car bra and perfect luggage rack on the back. I was confused for a second though. When he revs the car up, you can see that the instrument cluster says M, as in M Edition. But according to the most perfect site, Miata.net, the only color the 96 M Edition Miata came in was Starlight Mica Blue, not red. According to my deep searches into the sepulchre of the Miata forums, I found that this is only one of a few repainted 96 M's. Why they decided to paint over that wonderful Starlight Mica Blue is beyond me, but you know what? I still appreciate that they put a Miata in this film.
Did you just kick my car? Did you? Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Really sure.
Look, you can't be a drugged out sociopath in an 80s movie without driving a white Lamborghini Countach. I would know. In Wolf of Wall Street, Leo's character has a destructive romp through the neighborhood in a 1988 Countach 25th Anniversary Edition. This trim celebrating the 25th anniversary of the badge was mechanically identical to the 5000 QV production model, but sported a new body designed by none other than Horatio Pagani. It's got a 5.2 liter V12 under the hood, which is good for a 4.5 second 0 to 60. That's pretty crazy for an 80s car. It's still fast today. The 1977 James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me had a white Lotus Esprit S1 that was named Wet Nelly because it was also a submarine. It's a cool car, but the name makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. You know, on second thought, I think I would consider Bond movies to be car movies because in every Bond movie, you're waiting for the reveal of Q revealing what the car is for that specific film. It's a tough one. They're kind of car movies, they're kind of not. It's not like Bond really cares about the specs of his cars. He's more interested in the gadgets. So maybe the character has to be into cars for the movie to be a car movie. So I think it's just safest if I just skip Bond movies altogether for this list. But if you want us to do a video on just the cars of James Bond, type a J in the comments.
Now pay attention, 007. I want you to take great care of this equipment.
Q, have I ever let you down?
Frequently.
Now, while we're on the subject of what is and isn't a car movie, it's time to bring up Back to the Future. Are they car movies? I mean, it's certainly centered around a car, right? The DMC-12, the DeLorean, the most iconic movie car ever. When we think of what makes a car movie, it usually involves a few things, okay? A car has to represent a character's personality, right? Like Dom and his Charger, or Ricky Bobby in a stock car, or Lightning McQueen and himself. Sometimes the car sucks at first and has to be worked on and built, representing the character's growth. There's usually a training montage leading up to a big race where the car proves itself, right? But I think with Back to the Future, the DeLorean, it's a plot device and a catalyst rather than a representation of Marty McFly. It interacts with Marty and Doc like a character would. There's no big race at the end, except maybe a race against time. That's too ethereal. I don't know, but I don't think Back to the Future is a car movie. Maybe I'm thinking about this way too much. Either way, the DeLorean is iconic. But the unspoken hero of the film is the 1985 Toyota SR5 that Marty McFly drives. I love everything about this truck. The yellow KC light bar on the back, the great wheels, the bull bars, just a perfect amount of lift. Also, Flea drives a really dope truck in Back to the Future 3. Flea, the guy who slapped the bass. What's up, slappers? Slap that like button. One of my favorite things to do, I've discovered recently, is watch apocalyptic movies while living out an apocalypse in real time. In I Am Legend, Will Smith drives a cherry Shelby GT500 through the desolate streets of New York City. It's a 2007, and you can see a Monroney sticker in one of the shots, which implies that he took it from an abandoned dealership. I think that's something we all fantasize about, right? It's actually one of my biggest dreams. I could recreate this on the 10 in LA. Just need to find a dog first. Speaking of dogs, if you're a big Dalmatian head like me, you know that Cruella de Vil had one of the sickest rides ever in 101 Dalmatians, the live action one. The Panther Deville was a real car and not just one made for the movie, which is what I thought when I first read the name. It's a little too convenient that Cruella de Vil drives a Panther Deville. They were made from 1974 to 1985 by a company called Panther West Winds, and they had a Jaguar V12 under the hood. But the custom DeVille used in the movie had a small block Chevy V8, which is something that is very common in a lot of movie cars because the small block V8 is a very reliable engine. This thing has some serious drip. Cruella even gets it sideways at one point. Shout out to Meryl Streep. She played Cruella de Vil, right, Joe?
Glenn Close.
Here are some really quick honorable mentions before we get to my absolute favorite car in non-car movies. There's the Audi RSQ concept from iRobot, the 1967 Chevy Camaro from Better Off Dead, the Porsche 911 Turbo from Bad Boys, the Ferrari 575 Maranello from Bad Boys 2, the E36 BMW Cabrio from Clueless, also the Jeep Wrangler, very cool cars, Saab 900 from Paid in Full. And now, for my all-time favorite car in a non-car movie, the 1965 Lincoln Continental, and my favorite movie of all time, The Matrix. In The Matrix, Morpheus tells Neo to wait at the Adams Street Bridge. So Neo's there waiting, there's just tons of rain going down, it's a very, very noir. He gets picked up, he steps through the suicide doors on the Continental, and then, he gets a gun pointed at him, and he gets a bug sucked out of his belly button, which is very unsettling, still makes me squirm. There's just no cooler choice than the Continental. It's just so gangster. The Jeeps, of course, from Jurassic Park. Can't do a car movie video without mentioning those. I would get murdered in the comments if I did by a T-Rex. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button. It actually really does help us out. We have shows every day now on Donut. Follow Donut on all social media at Donut Media. Follow me at Nolan J. Sykes to get a little behind the scenes action of both Donut and my life here in my apartment.